Thank you for joining us today and welcome to Nourish Senior Life. My name is Erica Rendon, owner of Comfort Keepers Barrie. Today we are pleased and honored to have Amica at Barrie as our special speaker today. They provide independent living services, assisted living, and memory care to our seniors in the Barrie community. They are also very involved in ensuring that their residents are provided with delicious and healthy meals. A huge thank you to Al Chambers from Comfort Keepers and to Eve Laws, registered dietitian at Loblaws Canada.
Part of the discovery, as well as when residents are moving in, they meet with our director of wellness, and what she does is she works on a whole personal care plan, and that does involve nutrition and diet. So many people have special dietary needs like diabetes or food allergies, so we work with the families and the individuals moving in to make sure that they're safe and that we have the appropriate meals available for them. One of the things that we like to do at Amica is also have our residents engage in programs that are going to help support a healthy living. So we work with other partners in the community, such as Comfort Keepers, and they come in and they support program and teaching people how to eat properly and provide information to our residents.
Okay, well, we want to thank everyone for coming again to the cooking show, Nourish Senior Life. I'm here at Amica. We have the owner of Comfort Keepers, Erica, with us. Eve Laws will be doing wonderful little coconut and oat power balls today. Should be really good. And I am going to do a very simple, easy chicken and rice soup, which works out great for any leftovers. And if you have the flu or something, it's something I do at home all the time when the family does have the flu. Anything that's good for your respiration is good for your heart and your blood circulation. So we're doing this for Heart and Stroke Foundation. So this is a really easy, simple meal to do for them. So I'm just going to chop up some vegetables, and I always like to make sure that I fry the vegetables before I put the broth in, because it adds a lot more of the flavor to the soup.
So one of the great things about about carrots, it does contain beta-carotene, which
Sorry, I'm chopping too loud.
it also has a high content of fiber and antioxidants, and we also know that carrots are very good to maintain eye health as well. Carrots have also been linked to lower cholesterol, as well as assist with weight loss as well.
So we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in here, knowing that olive oil is very good for your heart. I believe that Eve was mentioning a little bit about that earlier. So we want to make sure that we fry that in the olive oil, get some onions, carrots, and celery into it, and then some garlic, and then bring that flavor out. And the garlic is a great antioxidant. We use it in most of the things that we cook. It's very good for your immune system. So we put all those carrots in there, making a mess here more than anything. I'm going to do the garlic next. Get that cooking, really bring the flavor out of it into the carrots and the celery. You can smell it all the way across the room. Once we get cooking here, so get that into there. And then you'll be able to smell this hopefully right away here. And I think the trick really is for chicken and rice soup for me is to fry the vegetables a little bit.
The rice is a really nice alternative to noodles. We know that rice is also a natural diuretic. It is also gluten-free, so for those that have, maybe a little bit of issues with their gut health, it's also a nice alternative.
And then, as always, for the antioxidant, we are going to put some onion in here, which I tend to chop before the show because I cry and nobody wants to see a man cry on TV.
He just leaves that for home.
All right, one more celery going in here.
You can just hear that crunchiness. It's delicious.
Got through that, didn't lose any digits, which is good. Sure my pan's going there. There we go, now it's cooking. All right. Do we have that on high heat? Yes. Good. So we're just gonna fry that a little bit for a little while, and I'm gonna throw the onions in there with it.
Onions being a lovely addition to any meal. They are high in fiber and folic acid as well. They do help with the body to naturally produce new cells. So again, wonderful as an antioxidant to help combat certain flus and colds.
Okay, good. Put the color in there. This is what we want, and pretty soon you should be able to start smelling it. Okay, so I have a bit of it, my one secret ingredient that I mentioned earlier I'm going to put in here. And this is ginger powder. Ginger powder is great for circulation. Ginger is one of the oldest medicines that are out there, basically, because it's one of the roots related to curry. Has a bit of a different flavor, but it works great for flus and colds and your overall respiration, which is good. And then we are using a combination of chicken broth as well as chicken stock. And chicken stock, being made from bone marrow, is very good for you. Great for circulation. It adds a much richer flavor. So we're doing a combination of both. And hopefully it'll give a really nice flavor that everybody will enjoy. Excellent. So we're going to put a little bit of salt in there. Himalayan sea salt. Because Himalayan sea salt is my favorite kind. It's got more minerals in it, and it's not a refined processed salt. It's natural, so I do like that. And of course, a little bit of pepper, just to add some flavor. And with those spices, and then we're going to get this nice and hot, soften up the vegetables a little bit, bring out the flavor, and then we're going to start adding some chicken stock, which I like to put in kind of slow. That way it gets boiling nice and quick. And we're doing this as kind of leftover type meal. So the chicken that we have is roasted chicken. And then the rice that we have is half-boiled, parboiled brown rice. And then we are going to start adding some of the chicken stock in. And then we'll put the chicken and the rice in. And it's only about 15 or 20 minutes to boil this. And this is a great meal that you can put into the fridge. And if you're not feeling well, you can kind of nurture yourself over the span of a couple days just by heating it up. Now I do, if I had time today, I would have liked to have made my own chicken broth and chicken stock just by boiling the bones of the carcass and adding a little bit of bouillon and stuff to it. But we don't quite have enough time on the show to do a 3-hour making of the chicken stock and then the soup. So we're gonna do it this easy way. Okay, so we're gonna add the chicken in here. Get that boiling a little bit. I don't mind adding lots and lots to it. I like
the heartier the better,
more of
right?
everything. The heartier the better. So I like it to be nice and thick with a good broth. And then of course we're gonna put 4 bay leaves in it, which is pretty common in any soup, and then pull those out before we actually serve it. 4 of those in there. There we go.
So another protein that you could use in this soup as well would be turkey, which would also bring a nice taste to it, and is a leaner meat as well. Because we're concentrating on heart health meals, it's really great that you don't have to add the additional salts. The sodium itself in the stock and in the broth really brings out the natural salts. And using the thyme, using the ginger really elevates the flavors of the soup.
And then of course rice. I like to use brown rice in the soup. I find it doesn't over-absorb the water and really fall apart. Brown rice tends to hold together pretty good in soups, so I usually use that. And yeah, we'll keep this boiling and then just kind of slowly add stock into it, and then I'll save a little bit of stock for the end to cool it down just before we serve it so that nobody gets burnt. Good. Okay, add a little bit of rice in there. We made quite a bit of rice, so I'm probably not going to use it all. You can have that for lunch.
Thanks.
All right.
That looks good.
The stove is just
You can
hot.
really start smelling everything coming together.
Yeah, the bay leaves bring a really nice flavor out too.
You just want to make sure that you remove the bay leaves when you're serving. They're kind of hard to bite into.
Yeah, bay leaves hold their structure really well even in a soup. So you definitely want to take it out because they don't chew well. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the thyme in there. I don't mind just taste testing a lot of times soups and then adding more flavor to it as I go. Anything that works. That in and we'll give everybody a little flavor. So this is the fun part. It's the
trying, the judging. Just be careful, it is warm.
It's very good.
Are you enjoying the big chunks of the vegetables and the chicken?
I like them crunchy too.
Okay.
Spoon's too small, I need a shovel.
How do you find the broth? Do you find it too salty or do you find it just right?
No, I find it fine.
Perfect.
I like vegetables anyway.
Oh good, that's excellent. It's part of a healthy
and the
diet.
rice and chicken.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Al and Erica, for that great heart-healthy soup. So now we need to satisfy our sweet tooth. So I like to make cranberry coconut power balls to satisfy my sweet tooth, but also to be heart-healthy. So to start off, what I recommend is getting dates. So right now we have about 1.5 cups of dates, and I just soak them in hot water just to add extra, basically, liquid to the dish. So 1.5 cups of dates. And what I like about dates is they're very naturally sweet, right? So they add the sweetness to the dish, but they don't spike your blood sugar as much as, let's say, brown sugar or white sugar would, right? So we have 1.5 cup of soaked dates, and then we're gonna add 1 cup of sunflower seed butter. So sunflower seed butter is great because it's a good source of protein. It also has those healthy fats in it. So a lot of my clients will ask for something that is, you know, tasty, satisfies their sweet tooth, but still is heart healthy. So I usually recommend this for my clients at Zehrs. So we could put that in. It's recommended a food processor. I recommend everyone gets one. It's so good to make pesto, hummus, all that kind of stuff. So in the food processor, you're just gonna clip it in. So you're just gonna put it on the food processor for about 2 minutes until it makes almost like the dough, right? So this dough is nice because this part of it is, you know, gluten-free. There's no refined sugar in it. All right. Perfect. So you can see here, I'll take off the blade. It makes like, basically like the dough, right? Awesome. All right, so I have one already done up here. So this has the dates and the nut butter. This is already transferred into the bowl. So this is basically your base, and from this you can kind of do whatever you want. You can add your own ingredients, but today we're focusing on heart health, so I'm gonna add some great heart healthy ingredients to our power balls. So first thing to add good flavor, we're gonna do pumpkin seeds. So pumpkin seeds are great because they have the healthy fats, but they also have minerals like magnesium and zinc, all good things for heart health. And they're also a good source of protein. So we add about 1/4 cup of the pumpkin seeds. And to add sweetness, we add 1/4 cup of dried cranberries. And what's really good about this dish too is it's a good thing to like get the grandchildren involved, right? It's, you kind of no fail, and it's also no bake, which is great for the summer. Okay, and since we're thinking about heart health as well, one of my favorite additions to baked goods is actually hemp hearts. So hemp hearts are a great source of omega-3. So in 2 tablespoons, you get almost 2 grams of omega-3, which is pretty well your daily intake. And so we're gonna add 1/4 cup of hemp hearts to our power balls. They also are a great source of iron, magnesium. Okay. So what I did beforehand is I just roasted some nice coconut and oats in the oven, 400 degrees Celsius for about 5 minutes till it gets nice golden brown. So this is 1 cup of oats and 1/2 cup of coconut. So you're not gonna add all of it in because you wanna leave a little bit to kind of garnish on top. So you're gonna add about half the oats and the lovely coconut. I actually got the unsweetened coconut because that's a good way to save on sugar. And when you roast it, it actually brings out the natural sweetness, so you find you won't miss it not being sweetened. And it's nice because we're not really adding any sugar other than the dates, but that's a natural sugar, which is nice. Okay, so at this point, you gotta get your hands dirty, right? It's pretty well the only way to do this recipe. So in your bowl, you're gonna take your hands and you're just gonna kind of mix up the ingredients. Again, you can't worry about being messy. And it's one of those things where you think it's gonna be weird and it's not gonna mix together, but the dates bind really well with the nut butter and it makes a nice dough. So what I usually recommend for people, especially seniors living 1 or 2 people, you can make a full batch, but you can actually freeze the extra ones. And then when you feel like you want a nice healthy snack, you can just pull it right out of the fridge. Okay, so once we kind of mix the dough, you're basically gonna make the little ball. So take about 1 tablespoon, My hands are a little messy, but that's what makes it fun. And you, basically, I like to just squish it together is the easiest way. And see, isn't it cute? It looks like a healthy Timbit. That's what I like to call them, healthy Timbits. And then with your leftover coconut and oats, you can just roll it. This is optional, you don't have to. And there you go. And this is the part where it's really good to like get the grandchildren involved. They love getting their hands dirty and they love, you know, doing this kind of stuff. So I just, you know, it takes a little time. This is why it's always good to get them in the kitchen helping out. And they really satisfy your sweet tooth. Like, I have a little bit of a sweet tooth, not gonna lie, so I need things like this because I don't have to feel, you know, as guilty, but I'm also getting nutrition, right? With those hemp hearts, with the pumpkin seeds. They're also a good back-to-school snack if you use sunflower seed butter that's made in a nut-free facility. It's also a good option, so you can make these for your grandchildren. They can bring them to school. Awesome. So I guess I'll make one for everyone. Usually a portion size is a snack, 1 to 2. But yeah, you don't want to have too many, but it's just honestly, you won't find you need much. Goes really nice with your afternoon coffee. Perfect. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna just rinse my hands. I'm gonna try one. You know, chefs, they always have to try their food before they sample it out. So let's see. Yeah, I really like it. It's really good with the tea or coffee, but so good. Right, who would like to try? Health, it's really important to try to get healthy fats into your diet. So today I made a cranberry coconut power ball, but to boost the nutrition, we added no sugar added nut butter and hemp hearts because hemp hearts are really high in omega-3s. So it's a great way to add healthy fat to your diet and your baking. I know fats sometimes, they used to have a bad rap in the media because there are like more healthy fats and non-healthy fats. So there's saturated fat and unsaturated fat. So you want to pick more of the unsaturated fat. So those are things that are more liquid at room temperature or things that you find within healthy foods. So fats that are in like avocado, salmon, those are great choices. And then for oils, trying to pick something that's liquid at room temperature. So my favorite is olive oil or avocado oil is also really nice. As a dietitian at Zehrs and Loblaws, when people come in and see me looking to improve their heart health, you know, I look at, first of all, what they're eating and what their lifestyle is, and any allergies and preferences, and then we usually try to add those heart healthy foods. A lot of times we might follow the Mediterranean diet, really focusing on whole foods, focusing on adding fish into your diet a couple days a week, and if you're vegetarian, then we look at vegetarian sources, right? So hemp hearts, maybe you would look at a vegetarian also supplement of omega-3.